All right, what's up, guys? It's your boy Mua Millie, aka Mua Trilly, aka Mushy Moo, back again with my investment journey, trying to become a millionaire by 2027 by selling options and selling covered calls if I ever get called on one of these cash secured puts. Last week, I just want to touch on that real quick. I did make the full profit on the $98 NBIS cash secured put that I sold. What I mean by that is I put up $9,800 of collateral. I sold an option to somebody else in the stock market. They purchased it for $135. And to them, what they needed was NBIS to fall under $98. That did not happen. NBIS was somewhere around $107, $108. And I ended up receiving the full profit, which was $135. From there, if you, whatever you think, that's it. Like nothing else happens. The contract just expires. I make the money. Life goes on. We move on. This week, though, I sold the same contract except at a different strike. So I did NBIS again, and I really like NBIS because I still think that AI has a really, really strong path ahead of it, and AI needs data centers. We need data centers. It's a lot of information that needs to be stored and sent, and data centers are going to be crucial. So for me, if I ever get called on NBIS, I'm not mad about owning that because it has to do with AI, and AI is going to keep advancing. So this week, I'll put it up on a screen. Hopefully you guys can see it. I sold a $94 put, right? Because it was Martin Luther King Jr. Day on Monday. Tuesday, the market opened and it was super red. And when the market is really, really red like that, it is a good time to sell options because it's in your favor. The implied volatility is up. And it's something that it's just, I sold it at a good time. Technically, there's no good time, but it's a better time to sell cash secured puts when the market is already red. So I sold a $94 put this time. Last week, we sold a $98. So this week, we got it even lower at $94, meaning that if NBIS, this week by the end of Friday, if NBIS falls under $94, I will be on the hook to purchase NBIS, $9,400 worth of it, 100 shares, and the other person would win at that point, right? It's kind of like a winners and losers game. I win if the contract expires worthless. They win if I'm on the hook to buy those shares, right? Hopefully that makes sense. So like I said earlier, last week I made the full $135. This week I sold the option for $188 because last week I sold it on a Wednesday. This week I sold it on a Tuesday, meaning that there was still more money in the contracts. So the way options work is the further you are away from expiration, the more expensive the contracts are. So that's why I was able to sell it for $188. As you can see, today's return was 40 or 24%. The total return so far is $65, and it looks like down there NBIS is at $100.75. So if it stays around there, hovers around there until the end of Friday, I would gain the full $188, and I would not be on the hook to purchase NBIS. And for anyone asking, let's say that NBIS fell to $92. What would I do? So I would be forced to purchase NBIS at $94 a share, right? So I would buy $9,400 in stock of NBIS. What I would do is I would sell covered calls, meaning that I can cover the fact that I sold this option. And I would sell something like a $95, $96 call. And if it reaches above that, then I would sell for whatever the price that I sold is. You guys will see when it happens, right? This is kind of like a weekly thing that I'm trying to do, that I'm trying to show you guys. And honestly, this is something that you guys could also sort of enter. This is not financial advice by any means. This is just me going over what I'm doing. But this video is going to be posted up on Thursday. So if you wanted to sell the $94 put, you technically could. You would make less money, of course, because it's closer to the expiration, unless the stock price dips really hard and Trump talks about Greenland or something again. But he kind of backtracked on it. The market went like straight down and then U-turned back up today. I was actually, this contract, it showed like minus $140 at one point, but you never lose money. When you are selling cash secured puts, you never lose money. There's no money lost. It just shows that for whatever reason, I guess just Robinhood's purposes. But even if NBIS goes to $92, I would still get the full $188 because that's what the other person bought it for. Let's think about buying a car. Let's say you buy a car for $10,000. If you hand somebody or a dealership, let's say you hand the dealership $10,000 in cash and say, I want to buy this car. The dealership just got $10,000. Even though they lost the car, you still have $10,000 or they have $10,000. So in this case, somebody took $188 and they handed it to me and said, give me this contract. They give me the money is in my hands, I give them the contract. Hopefully that makes a little bit more sense, right? So I will at every point gain $188 at the end of this week, no matter what. No matter I get called on buying the shares or not, I make $188 extra dollars this week. So yeah, that's my position for this week. I really like NBIS. I was thinking of doing Robinhood because Robinhood had a really big dip as well. But I looked at the data and the data suggested that NBIS still looked good. There was still a lot of upward momentum on it. And even if there wasn't upward momentum, there was no real short momentum, right? There was a big strike at $88, but I'm sure that person might have sold and on that huge dip. And then now it can kind of ease its way up. So money is dynamic. Shut up out there, man, stupid motorcycle. Money always moves. Money, you gotta understand, money as this thing, money is like the ocean, right? It's just always moving. Like the waves are always moving. Even if it's calm waters, it doesn't matter because money is still moving. It's being exchanged. It's figuring out where it wants to go. The rich people want to make more money. And if they can make more money on the upside, they're gonna do it. If they can make more money on the downside, they're gonna do it. No matter what, rich people will always find a way to make money. And that's why I decided to sell options, because this is what rich people do, guys. If you have the money, the collateral to be able to sell options, you are like 20 steps ahead of the average American. So hopefully you guys learned something. That is my new position, a $94 NBIS put. Whether or not I get called to buy the shares, I make $188 this week. And yeah, if I do get called, I'll show you next week what a covered call is. If I don't, then we're gonna find our next play next week. So yeah, thanks for watching.